The customer service plays an important role to create value for the customers. So let's have a look at some more details of the concept of customer service. First of all, note that a product has no value until it is not in the hands of our customer. If we sell cars and we produced a lot of cars, they are in our big yards, or maybe they are on a train, on a ship to get closer to our customer destination, or if the car is with our car dealer in the nice showroom, all these things don't matter in terms of value. The car only becomes valuable for our customer as soon as the customer has control over the car, can use the car. At this point in time, the car creates value for our customer. Not earlier, not later. Yeah? Maybe there's some value in the materials of the car, in the technology, but in the end, this all doesn't matter as long as our customer is not able to use it. And all the functionality, all the things that happen to make the car available to the customer, to make the product available to the customer, are called distribution function of a company. Yeah? All these things are related to distributing product to our customers. And when we are talking about services, it is a good idea to do some classification of the services to streamline the discussion. What does classification mean? Classification is very important in understanding concepts. So you will do a lot of classification while you're studying at geotech. And classification simply means we put things that belong closer together in one group. We made three groups to classify services: the pre-transaction services, the transaction services, and the post-transaction services. So these concepts of grouping of services was created around the idea of a customer transaction, so when a customer actually buys something, and it helps us to discuss the types of services that are offered in a simpler way. I have one exercise. Since we're not doing a live session, I leave the exercise for your own practice. I'm sure you can get a lot of value out of it by organizing it yourself. And I would like to move on to the next slide, where I give you some examples of services classified in the three dimensions. So before the transaction, one part of service is the availability of stock. How many units of our product are actually in the inventory? Let's have a look at the fashion sector as an example. You go to a fashion store, and of course it is important how many clothes, how many different styles are available in that store. Yeah? And finding the right number of available products is important for the customers and for the customer service. Another criteria is the expected delivery time. So when you have to order a product, it is important for you as a customer to know how much time it will take until the order arrives at you. Of course, the actual delivery time might change depending on the circumstances, but if you already know you have to wait for 4 weeks until the order arrives, maybe you will not even do the order. If you know, on the other hand, that the order will be at your villa after 2 days, then it's much more clear, and the target delivery time plays a big impact on the pre-transaction services. Let's have a look at the actual transaction phase. So let's have a look at the order fill rate. Let's say we have an industrial customer who is purchasing different types of oil-related products, and our oil and gas company, maybe sometimes the company will not be able to fulfill 100% of the order all the time. So we can only offer less oil than the customer actually ordered, or we have to offer the customer a different type of oil on a different quality level. This would be called a product substitution. After the purchase is done and the product is delivered, the post-transaction services become relevant. If there is a problem with the product and the customer calls you, calls your service center, then we can measure the first call fix rate. So how many of our customer problems can we solve during the first call of the customer? How many complaints with the product or with the delivery of the product arrive in our call center? Are our invoices correct? Which service parts are available for our products? You can go through all the process by the example of buying a new car. Though pre-transaction services, is the car available in the showroom? Can you have a look at it? When you order the new car, how much time will it take until it gets delivered to your door? Is it already maybe in some of the ports and just needs to be delivered within a couple of days to your place of living? Or will the car only be produced after you place the order and it might take several months until delivery? Can you order or can you get exactly the car that you want? So is it possible to include all the extras in the car? Or does this delay the shipment, or is it maybe not available to get the car with your specified extras? And post-transaction services, of course the invoice should be correct. This is often not a big problem, but for the car industry, what is important? The service parts availability. So you drive your car for several years, you go to the service frequently, maybe you have an accident, hopefully nothing bad happens, but you need some replacement parts for the car. And are these really available? Are these available quickly, or do we have to back order them or whatever? Though these are some criteria related to customer service and logistics grouped in the pre-transaction, transaction and post-transaction phases.